Hi guys, happy new year. Welcome back to another video and welcome into 2023. We made it and I am back on the extension build. I'm only here for like a couple of hours. This is quite near to home to me and I wanted to do a few little bits. So I've just popped down in the afternoon. So I'm sort of having a day off, but I'm doing a few bits anyway. But so yeah, I'm coming to do a couple of bits today. I'm going to quickly show you what I'm going to be doing and yeah, just explain. Alright guys, so you guys might remember the last time I was here, I was plastering. I plastered the walls in here, did finish the tiling in here as well, so it's looking good. I want to box this in here, so I picked up some timber and some plywood as well, so I'm going to box this little corner in here. I'm also going to put the tap in today. I may try and get the shower on, which has been delivered here. So I've got the shower which goes on the wall here, so I may try and get that on today as well. But more importantly, what I really came here to do is to skim the ceiling, which is really just sort of that blending that area here, and also next door this part here as well. I need to blend that part so that's the last of the plastering in here, and that can dry. That won't take too long to dry, to be honest. And then in this place can start getting painted. So that's the main reason why I'm here today. Also, one thing I might do as well, I picked up some 2-part filler. I might work on this as well. It dries really quick, so I need to sort of straighten this frame out and fill up all these broken bits here. There's a little bits here of the wood that's been broken out here as well. So I might try and do those as well, see if I get a chance. I picked up some 2-part filler anyway, so hopefully I can show you guys as well how that's done. Alright guys, so here's the taps that we're using. They come with the flexi pipes, we usually do. Instructions here, we don't need that. Here's the tap. So it's a mixer tap, so you got hot and cold. Typically here on the UK we have hot on the left and cold on the right. And actually it has a little red dot here and a blue dot for cold and hot as well. So I don't know which pipes under there are going to be which ones. Actually, yes I do. I did label the cold, so I know which one's the cold. The one that's got a little bit of tape on it is the cold, from what I remember. Basically these little threads here, they thread inside there. You basically thread them up. And again, you've got one that's got red lines on it, so use that for the hots. And this one has no lines, so that's an easy way to help you. Also, they have filters in them as well, which is good. And they have a rubber washer to seal them up. So that's basically everything for that. I already have some valves, I believe. Yep, I've got some isolating valves under there. So all we need to do is just screw the threaded part onto the isolating valve, and that's it. Quite a simple job. So other bits that come with it, you have this sort of little base plate, which has a rubber seal on it, so you don't get metal to porcelain. Obviously you don't want that. You want something cushioning it. So you have this little seal here with rubber underneath, so you make sure you fit that. So this sits underneath like that, and then you've got the rubber part which sits on there like that, nice like that. Okay, so these things are quite easy to do. It is easier to fit this with the sink off, but you know, we sort of got some of the finishing bits sort of at different times, so you don't want to sit around waiting for things. You sort of have to get on with your work. So sometimes you don't put things on the way that you'd ideally do it. So at the time, if you guys remember the time when we fitted this sink, we had the wrong taps. We realized the taps were the wrong taps, so we had to wait for these taps to be exchanged. So we got the taps just before Christmas. So basically you've got these sort of threaded studs with this little brass nut on it. One end, if you look at it here, hope you guys can see this. I'm not sure if you're seeing this right, but one end has a little bit of thread, and then there's a unthreaded bit, and then there's a long thread. So this little bit of thread bit goes into the tap, and this part is what you wind up and connect underneath. And it also has a screwdriver bit here that helps you to sort of screw it in. So what I typically do, I will take the little brass bits off like this, and then I will thread this into these two little holes at the bottom there. So thread them up. You can usually just do that by hand, it's fine. Once it gets to the unthreaded bit, it will stop. You won't be able to thread it in anymore, so you just sort of tighten it up there. So that's good. And then we put this little rubber bit in there. I mean, you can put these in as well with these ones, these holes. I can put these out. Actually, I will actually. Sometimes you can't, but sometimes you can. So we're gonna do our hot one on the left. So I'm gonna thread that in. It should go nice and easy. Make sure you don't cross thread it. If you feel too much resistance, it might be cross threading. So, but these are done by hand. You do not use a tool. So just give it a little twist, not too much, and the rubber will seal it. So that's done. And the other one is on the right hand side, which will be the cold. These mixer taps are quite easy as a sort of DIY job to sort of change out if you need to change them. As long as you can isolate your water, you should be fairly straightforward to do. Right, so that's done now. Now I'm going to slip this bit of metal on. So I'll put one on that side first. You won't be able to get both in at the same time. And can I get this one in? Not sure. No, see, this one is a bit tricky, so I'm going to take one off, and I'll just put one in and I'll do the other one after. So that goes on like that. You put this rubber bit in here and then drop it in there. What I can do is I can poke the other one through now and do it up. It's just easier than trying to do it up underneath there, you know. If you can do it up here, it's easier for you, you know. Okay, that's it. So when I push this down, then I'll put this from underneath. There's a rubber washer and a metal washer. You make sure the rubber is touching underneath the ceramic, so again prevents the rubber and metal touching together. You push this through. Obviously those two little studs will go through those two little eyes, and then the pipes fit in between that area on the top there. So basically it sort of goes in like this, if you guys can see it. I'm not sure if you can, but it will be done from underneath. So we set that like that. Get under there, put that on, and then we use the little brass bits and then we just wind them up. Then obviously you need to use some sort of spanner to tighten them up nice and tight to make sure that the taps doesn't move. But you can hand tighten it most of the way up. Right, so that's done. I've hand tightening it. It's tight, but you know the rubber sort of really does grip it. So it's not easy to move even just by hand tightening it, but I'll just use a spanner under there and I'll tighten it up. So once that's in, I'll show you guys how I'm going to connect underneath. Right, so these are done now. So we've got the hot on the left. So I've already marked my cold one with this little bit of silver tape. And all you need to do now, clean these pipes up. All you got to do now is basically connect the cold on this side, and then the hot one. I'll just take this cap off. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just blast these pipes out, a little bit of water just to make sure there's no dust in them, because you don't want any dust going up in your tap, you know. So I'm just going to do that first. All right, so just open these valves and I just open them into a little bucket. Make sure that all the dust is out of them. So once that's done, now I can connect my cold. And I'll just do that up by hand. And then my hot one on the other side here. So once I've done that by hand, I'm just going to give it a little tighten up with grips, just to make sure that it's tightened. You don't need to go too tight on these. They got rubber seals. Just give them about, I would say, 1 turn all the way around. Should be good. Should be good. Right, so I'm gonna open the tap, then we'll check for leaks and hopefully we should be good to go. So let's check it out. We did do the waste pipe the last time we were here, so everything should be draining. A little bit of air in it. So we got hot on the left, we should have, and cold should be on the right. So that should be hot. The boiler is on, so let's see, we should get hot water in there. Yep, and I am. Warming up. Okay, it's starting to get hot now. Quite hot. Alright, so our sink is done. So obviously I'm going to check under there. Make sure we got no leaks. I would check, I would see something dripping. So I'll come back and check that in a bit. Make sure I've got no leaks. But otherwise the sink is good to go. So the next job is going to be boxing in this little small area here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to box it up to the height so that we can get a bit of tile and get it to the height of the bath. And then I'll go straight down. And also the bath panel, we've only got a front bath panel which is going to come to the corner. So I might box a little bit across like that and a bit like that. And then I'll tile those 2 pieces of wood with the matching tile. So I think that should look quite nice. Alright guys, so I did the boxing in, as you can see. Just put it on time lapse. It's again not easy to film here, but as you can see, boxed it in with timber frame, and then I've used ply and basically just aligned it with ply. So look on that side there, you'll see the edge of the tile, and it's a tiny little bit thicker. So by the time I put my adhesive and all that, I'm gonna have the tile basically come flush there. So it's gonna sort of be like that. It'll be tile to there. Then the same thing under there. I'll tile it to the side of the bath like that. So it'll sort of be like that, and it'll come up to the edge of the bath panel, which wraps around slightly. And then on the top here, same thing again. It's going to be sort of like slightly higher, and then I'll just put silicone along the edge there. So probably just be 1 tile there, 1 tile there, 1 piece down on the inside there, and that should look good. Yeah. So that's done. So guys, I'm gonna move on now. Probably gonna do the wood fill around the door. I think I'll probably do that, get that job out of the way, or maybe put the shower one. I need to just probably just drill 2 holes, screw it to the wall, just connect the plumbing. I'll leave it open, electrician will connect the electric when he's ready for that, and then just put the lid on it. So that's that. I'm gonna do the skimming as well in a bit in the ceiling, but what I'm gonna probably do is a separate video for that. So look out for that video. It might be uploaded about the same time or sometime after this one, because it's the first time I'm going to be using a different product
which is the fast set multi-finish. So obviously I haven't got a lot to do and I don't want to be here all night. So I've got the fast, it's sort of like a rapid set multi-finish. So I've never tried it before, but I'm gonna do it, so it should hopefully get me out of here quicker. So I'm just gonna do my sort of review of it as first time using the product. So I'll probably do that on a separate video for specific people who might be looking for videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna see other little bits I can do in on here, and then I'll probably do a separate video for it. Alright guys, so that's my shower in. All ready to go. I just screwed the lid on. I just cut the cable a bit short. I left that there for electrician to come in and he can take the lid off and connect it all up and do his testing and all that. But yeah, otherwise that is good to go. So I'm happy with that. Once he's finished with that, then I can screw the brackets on the wall, put the shower head and the hoses and stuff like that, and then I'll run it up and test it out. But otherwise I'm good.
So guys, that's how I'm going to end this video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed these videos, show you guys the update, the progress and so on. So we're nearly there with the bathroom. A couple of days work I think, and I'll be wrapped up in here. So yeah. So until the next video guys, see you soon. Take care.